I trusted my sister with my anxiety. She betrayed me for laughs, so I revealed her darkest secret and lost everything. Hey everyone, this is probably the hardest story I've ever had to tell. My name is Alex, and what happened to me completely destroyed my family and left me questioning everything I thought I knew about the people I loved most. This isn't just about sibling rivalry. This is about the deepest kind of betrayal, and how one moment of revenge cost me absolutely everything. The background. Let me start from the beginning. I'm 19 now, and my sister Emma is 21. We used to be incredibly close. I'm talking about that kind of sibling bond where you tell each other everything, where you're each other's best friend and biggest supporter. Emma was always the popular one, the outgoing party girl who everyone loved. Me? I was the quiet, anxious kid who preferred staying home with a book rather than going out to social events. About 2 years ago, I started experiencing severe anxiety and panic attacks. I'm talking about the kind where your heart feels like it's going to explode out of your chest, where you can't breathe, where you feel like you're literally dying. The attacks would come out of nowhere, during class, while I was eating dinner, even when I was just lying in bed trying to sleep. My parents didn't really understand what I was going through. They're old-school people who think anxiety is just being nervous, and that you can just get over it by thinking positive thoughts. So when I tried to explain what was happening to me, they'd just tell me to toughen up or stop being so dramatic. Emma was different, though. She was the only person who actually listened when I described the physical symptoms, the racing thoughts, the overwhelming fear that would consume me during an attack. She'd sit with me when I was having a bad day, bring me water when I couldn't stop shaking, and even helped me research coping mechanisms online. I trusted her completely. She was my safe space, the one person in my family who truly understood what I was going through. The secret I discovered. Here's where things get complicated. About 6 months ago, I discovered Emma's secret, and it was a big one. I had borrowed her laptop to work on a school project because mine was being repaired. While I was looking for a folder, I accidentally clicked on a hidden directory. What I found shocked me to my core. There were hundreds of photos and videos of Emma at parties, but these weren't your typical college party pics. We're talking about hardcore drug use, lines of cocaine on tables, Emma smoking what was clearly not just regular cigarettes, bottles of prescription pills that definitely weren't prescribed to her, and photos of her completely wasted and doing things that would destroy her reputation and future career prospects. See, Emma was studying to become a nurse. She was in her final year, about to graduate and start working at a prestigious hospital. She'd always been the golden child. Perfect grades, volunteer work, the whole 9 yards. Our parents were so proud of her, constantly bragging to friends and family about their daughter who was going to save lives. But these photos told a completely different story. They showed Emma dealing drugs at parties, using hard substances, and engaging in illegal activities that would not only get her kicked out of nursing school, but could land her in serious legal trouble. I was torn. Part of me was shocked and disappointed, but another part of me understood that people make mistakes, especially in college. I decided not to confront her about it immediately. Instead, I figured I'd wait for the right moment to have a serious conversation about getting help. I wish I had acted sooner. Emma's 21st birthday party. Emma's 21st birthday was going to be a huge celebration. She'd invited about 50 people to our house, friends from college, high school classmates, even some family friends. Our parents had gone all out, decorating the backyard, hiring a DJ, the whole works. I wasn't planning to stay for the whole party. Large social gatherings are one of my biggest anxiety triggers, and I'd already warned Emma that I'd probably disappear to my room after making an appearance and wishing her happy birthday. The party was in full swing when I started feeling that familiar tightness in my chest. My heart began racing, my palms got sweaty, and I could feel a panic attack coming on. I quickly excused myself and headed to the quiet side of the house where Emma and I used to have our private conversations. I called her over, thinking she'd help me like she always did. Instead, what happened next changed everything. The recording. "Emma, I'm having a panic attack," I told her, my voice shaking as I tried to control my breathing. "Can you just stay with me for a few minutes until it passes?" Emma looked around at her party guests and seemed annoyed. "Seriously, Alex? Right now? It's my birthday party." "I know, I'm sorry, I just need—" I started, but she cut me off. "Look, just do those breathing exercises we looked up online. You'll be fine," she said dismissively. But here's the thing I didn't know. Emma had her phone out the entire time, and she was recording our conversation. She recorded me having a panic attack, recorded me describing how I felt like I was dying, recorded me at my most vulnerable moment. I went to my room to recover, thinking Emma was just stressed about her party and would apologize later. I had no idea what she was planning to do with that recording. The humiliation. About an hour later, I heard loud laughter coming from the backyard. Curious, I looked out my window and saw Emma standing in front of all her guests with her phone connected to the party speakers. My blood ran cold when I heard my own voice coming through those speakers. She was playing the recording of my panic attack to her entire party. I listened in horror as my terrified, shaking voice described my symptoms while Emma's friends laughed and made jokes. Someone yelled, "That's hilarious!" Another person shouted, "What a freak!" I heard Emma's voice on the recording making sarcastic comments about my dramatic episodes. But the worst part was hearing Emma's live commentary as she played it. She was imitating my voice, exaggerating my symptoms, and telling everyone about my crazy anxiety attacks like they were some kind of entertainment. I felt like I was going to throw up. The person I trusted most in the world had just humiliated me in front of 50 people, turning my mental health struggles into a joke for her birthday entertainment. The confrontation. I marched downstairs, my face burning with embarrassment and rage. The party got quiet as I approached Emma. "How could you do this to me?" I demanded, my voice cracking with emotion. Emma just shrugged. "Oh, come on, Alex. Everyone knows you're dramatic. It's just funny." "Funny? You recorded me having a panic attack and played it for everyone?" "It's not that serious," she said, rolling her eyes. "You always make everything about you, even on my birthday." Her friends started chiming in, calling me names, telling me to chill out, and saying I was ruining the party. Some of them were still laughing about the recording. I looked at Emma, hoping to see some sign of remorse, some indication that she realized how badly she'd hurt me. Instead, she just looked annoyed that I was causing drama at her party. That's when I made the decision that would change everything. "The revenge. You want to share secrets at your party?" I said, my voice steadier than I'd ever heard it. "Fine, let's share secrets." I pulled out my phone and quickly uploaded some of the photos I'd found on Emma's laptop to a cloud service. Within minutes, I had them ready to share. "Everyone, since Emma likes sharing private moments, let me show you some of hers," I announced loudly. I connected my phone to the same speakers Emma had used and started displaying the photos on the big screen TV they'd set up for the party. The laughter died immediately. The first photo showed Emma snorting cocaine off a table. The second showed her dealing drugs to other students. The third showed her completely wasted, passed out with drug paraphernalia scattered around her. This is your birthday girl, I said, my voice carrying across the now silent backyard. The nursing student who's going to save lives. The golden child who's been lying to everyone about who she really is. Emma's face went white. Alex, stop, please. But I was too hurt, too angry to stop. I kept showing photo after photo, video after video. Her friends stood there in shock, seeing a side of Emma they'd never seen before. Some of them started leaving immediately. Want to know what else is funny? I continued. Emma's been dealing drugs to pay for her nursing school tuition. Those volunteer hours she brags about, she's been high during half of them. That perfect daughter act, it's all fake. The fallout, by the time I finished, most of the party guests had left. Emma was crying, begging me to stop, but it was too late. The damage was done. Our parents came outside to see what had happened to their daughter's party. When they saw the photos still displaying on the screen, they were speechless. I expected them to be angry at Emma. I expected them to finally see that their perfect daughter wasn't so perfect after all. I thought they'd realize how badly Emma had hurt me, and that what I did was justified. I was wrong. Instead of being angry at Emma for her drug use or for humiliating me, they were furious with me for destroying her birthday party and embarrassing the family in front of everyone. How could you do this to your sister? My mom screamed. On her birthday, in front of all her friends. She humiliated me first, I protested. She recorded my panic attack and played it for everyone to laugh at. That's no excuse for what you did, my dad said coldly. What you did tonight was cruel and vindictive. Emma, still crying, told them that she was just trying to lighten the mood and that I completely overreacted. She painted herself as the victim, saying I'd ruined her life and destroyed her reputation. Our parents believed her. The aftermath. Within 24 hours, word had spread throughout Emma's college and our hometown. Someone at the party had recorded my slideshow and posted it online. Emma's nursing school found out about the drug use and launched an investigation. She was suspended pending a disciplinary hearing. The hospital where she was supposed to start working rescinded their job offer. Several of her friends who were also in the photos faced their own consequences. Some were kicked out of their programs, others faced legal trouble. But instead of my parents holding Emma accountable for her choices, they blamed me for everything. Emma made mistakes, but she's trying to get her life together, my mom said during one of our many arguments. What you did was vindictive and cruel. You destroyed her future out of spite. I tried to explain how much Emma had hurt me, how betrayed I felt, how what she did had triggered the worst panic attack I'd ever experienced. But they wouldn't listen. You're 19 years old, my dad said. You should know better than to air family business in public like that. Getting kicked out. 3 days after the party, my parents sat me down for what they called a family meeting. Alex, we've decided that you need to move out, my mom said, not making eye contact with me. I was stunned. What? Wait. Your behavior has become toxic to this family, my dad explained. What you did to Emma was unforgivable. Until you can learn to take responsibility for your actions and make amends, we don't think it's healthy for you to live here. But Emma's the one who... Emma's getting help, my mom interrupted. She's going to counseling and trying to turn her life around. But what you did, that was calculated and mean-spirited. We can't have that kind of negativity in our home. They gave me 2 weeks to find somewhere else to live. Emma, meanwhile, was being treated like a victim. Our parents paid for her to go to an expensive rehabilitation program and were supporting her through the legal issues that arose from the photos. They hired a lawyer to help her fight the nursing school suspension. But me? The son who'd been struggling with mental health issues for years? I was the villain who needed to be removed from the family home. Where I am now. It's been 4 months since Emma's birthday party, and I'm currently living with a friend from high school whose family took me in. I'm working part-time while trying to save money for my own apartment and figure out how to pay for college without my parents' support. I haven't spoken to my family since I moved out. Emma has tried to contact me a few times, but I'm not ready for that conversation yet. My parents have made it clear that they won't welcome me back until I apologize to Emma and make things right. The worst part is that I'm starting to question whether what I did was justified. Yes, Emma betrayed me in the worst possible way. Yes, she humiliated me when I was at my most vulnerable. But did I go too far with my revenge? I destroyed her career prospects, exposed her to legal trouble, and damaged relationships with dozens of people. In my anger and hurt, I didn't just hurt Emma. I hurt everyone in those photos, many of whom had nothing to do with what she did to me. The real cost. Looking back, I realized that in my quest for revenge, I lost everything that mattered to me. I lost my family, my home, my financial security, and my support system. I also lost the person I used to be, someone who, despite struggling with anxiety, tried to be kind and understanding. The anxiety and panic attacks have gotten worse since all this happened. The stress of being on my own, the guilt over what I did, and the pain of losing my family have made my mental health struggles even more challenging. I still believe that what Emma did was wrong. Recording someone having a panic attack and playing it for entertainment is cruel and unforgivable. But I also know that what I did in response was destructive and hurt innocent people. Lessons learned. If I could go back and do things differently, I would have handled the situation completely differently. I would have confronted Emma privately about the recording. I would have demanded an apology and insisted she get help for her substance abuse issues. I might have even told our parents about both the recording and the drug use, letting them handle it as a family matter. But I let my anger and hurt drive me to make a decision that cost me everything. In trying to hurt Emma the way she'd hurt me, I ended up hurting myself even more. The truth is, there are no winners in this story. Emma's future is uncertain, her reputation is damaged, and she's dealing with addiction issues that could have been addressed privately with family support. I'm estranged from my family, struggling financially, and dealing with the consequences of my actions. And my parents? They're dealing with the fallout of having 2 children who both made terrible decisions that damaged our family, potentially beyond repair. Final thoughts. I'm sharing this story not to get sympathy or to justify what I did, but to show how quickly trust can be broken and how devastating the consequences can be when we let anger drive our decisions. Mental health struggles are real, and they deserve to be treated with compassion and understanding, not used as entertainment. What Emma did to me was wrong, and I hope anyone watching this understands how damaging it can be to mock someone's anxiety or panic attacks. But I also hope people can learn from my mistakes. Revenge might feel satisfying in the moment, but it often ends up hurting everyone involved, including yourself. I'm still working on rebuilding my life and figuring out how to move forward. Maybe someday my family will be willing to work through this together, but for now, I'm focusing on taking care of my mental health and trying to become the person I want to be, someone who can handle betrayal and hurt without destroying everything in the process. If you're dealing with anxiety or panic attacks like I am, please know that you're not alone, and your struggles are valid. Find people who will support you without judgment, and don't let anyone make you feel ashamed for something you can't control. And if you're angry at someone who's hurt you, please think carefully before you act on that anger. The temporary satisfaction of revenge is never worth the long-term consequences. Thanks for listening to my story. I hope it helps someone out there make better choices than I did.